More now on Battleground Michigan, a candidate backed by Senator Bernie Sanders winning his House primary in a fight to represent the capital of Lansing. Progressive William Lawrence secured the Democratic nomination after a heated three-way primary. Now he will face incumbent Congressman Tom Barrett in November. Congressman Barrett joins me now for his first national interview since his primary win on Tuesday. I guess we should say congratulations, Congressman, for that win. What separates you from candidate Lawrence?
Well, first, thank you so much for having me on. I really do appreciate the opportunity. And to your question about what separates us, I would almost say the better question is what doesn't separate us. My opponent, tragically, was a proud and card-carrying member of the Democratic Socialists of America as recently as last month. And he didn't leave any policy objective or opposition. He left simply because he's concerned about electability going into the November election. Obviously, that's something that is not tolerable to the whole host of majority of people of my district. They don't want to see our borders completely erased. They don't think that capitalism means that we ought to give up the values of hard work or other things that really make America and our economy the leading example of the rest of the world. And they don't believe that we ought to be giving health care free of charge to illegal immigrants who violated the laws of our country, come in here without our permission, and try to take away the rights of our citizens. So these are things that fundamentally separate me from my opponent, but I think they also separate the overwhelming majority of the constituents that I represent now from the values that are held by the Democratic Socialist community, like my opponent.
Well, let me let Will Lawrence say in his own words why he let his DSA membership lapse. Here he is in a Wednesday interview on CNN. Listen.
I let my membership lapse because I just want to make very clear that I'm here to represent the people of this district and focus on the issues that are bringing people together, the cost of health care and gasoline and groceries, and the fact that we have criminals, frankly, in government who are getting rich on the public expense, and there's no accountability. So we're here to unite the 7th District by beating Barrett in November.
So when did you leave the Democratic Socialists of America?
It was within the last month I let my membership lapse.
So he let his membership lapse, but he doesn't renounce the DSA and its policies. There had to be a reason he was a member until last month.
Absolutely. He was a member because he fully endorses and embraces all of their policy objectives. And when he was asked about any policy position he would disavow, he couldn't list a single one. And again, he didn't renounce his membership. He simply let it lapse in a very passive way because he was concerned about how he would be held to account now in the general election when the page turns from the primary electorate over to the general election. The circumstances change, and definitely the issue set is far different than what he was campaigning on in his primary. You know, look, we're ready for this fight. My district is one of the most competitive congressional races in the entire country. It's the only district in America that the Cook Political Report ranks as a dead even, no partisan advantage to either side, one of the most toss-up districts in the entire country. We're going to take this very seriously. One of the criticisms I have of the Democratic primary is the two other candidates didn't take William Lawrence seriously. They didn't take the threat that he presented seriously. We're not going to make that same mistake on my campaign. People can go to tombarrettforcongress.com to see more about what I'm putting forward to try and move our country in the direction we need to go. Contrasting the 22 years I spent in the United States Army with the lifelong progressive socialist activism that my opponent has done. He's a founding member of the Green New Deal Alliance of Michigan, trying to displace and lay off auto workers across my district who build the conventional vehicles that so many of us rely on to get to school, to work, and to other places we're going with our families. He would ban gasoline engines, grant amnesty to every single illegal immigrant in our country, and have them take Medicare benefits away from our seniors and give them to illegal immigrants that have violated our laws. We can't allow that to happen.
Michigan is obviously the focus of a lot of political attention right now because of Abdul El-Sayed's narrow win in the Democratic primary for Senate. Now, he says Republicans are sort of sitting on their hands in your state right now. Listen to this.
You know, what we saw coming out of this primary is that 500,000 more folks voted for Democrats than they did Republicans. What that shows us is that, you know, the issues that we might have within our party really were contentious, but that we know that the differences between us are so much smaller than the differences we have.
Do you think there's an enthusiasm gap between Democrats and Republicans here?
Well, I would say that there was a tremendous amount of attention nationally. You saw it on, of course, your program and others nationally focused on the U.S. Senate primary in Michigan. I think it attracted the highest level of spending of any U.S. Senate primary, maybe in history, certainly in the history of Michigan politics. And we're a very competitive swing state, as you know. So I wouldn't read too much into that because of the intensity around that Democratic primary really did drive turnout there. And it was far more competitive than any of the races on the Republican side this year. Now, that's not anything we can take for granted. We have to give our voters a reason to show up and vote, but we have to educate them as to the seriousness of this race, certainly in my district, the race that I'm running in, as well as statewide and our statewide elections, and just the direction that these radical socialist candidates would take our country. And they're not disavowing their socialist tendencies. They are embracing them and trying to run in spite of those positions. We have to hold them accountable to that. That's a mission that I have in my race, but certainly Mike Rogers has for the U.S. Senate and our candidates across the board in other places in the country, but most pronounced right here in Michigan.
All right, Congressman Tom Barrett, Republican of Michigan. Congressman, thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
You bet.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.